everyone, Mango7Roll here. How we doing today? Welcome to another episode of Epic 7, and today we're just going to talk a little bit about the new equipment change system and how it's going to affect players, specifically free-to-play players, and everybody actually. How it's going to affect free-to-play players, whales, people like me, everybody in between. So yeah, this post is from Magic Arena Fan. Magic's a pretty good game, by the way. And this was the best summary I could find of it, especially like going through all the pictures that aren't translated and everything. It was a little bit messy, so this was just the best way to convey the information. And then I'll go through some real world examples in my gear. And also do remember, things may change before it's actually released. This is still in its early stages from what I understand. Not the early stages, but it's not like 100% finalized. So they say the median stat roll is the highest your stat can be changed to. And like they say, this has been the highest we've seen so far from the few pictures. And again, we're gathering this information from just a couple pictures on the stream. So on the change gear, 2 graders, possibly guarantees it, which are the stones you need. So you'll need 2 of them apparently. 18 speed is the highest you'll be able to get through the substat change. 30% crit, 36 crit damage, 42% attack, defense, HP, effect res, and res. So this is a little low on some of the speed stats, and you might say 18 speed is massive, but it's low for a lot of whales and lucky people. So that's one thing we're going to need to talk about in a second here. But basically any substat like this would be fantastic for basically anybody, right? Like, even if you're a whale, you're gonna find some place to use 18 speed. But also the other point is, you're gonna have to be on the lookout for really weird pieces of gear to fit those statistics that need to be hit, if that makes any sense. So let's take a look at a couple other things here. They also say with full speed stat change gear, the Cerise could be 288 speed. And do keep in mind that this is not going to be something you can just change all your gear for. This is going to be something you're going to get every now and then, that you can maybe change a piece every now and then. And it's going to be hard to get enough to really do anything. So keep that in mind going forward, because you're not only going to need to have the specific set drop, but you're also going to need to have the specific substat drop. So like, you'll need to get a speed piece, and you'll also need to get the speed speed substat. And then you'll need 2 of them, apparently, if I'm reading this right here. So that's a lot of RNG to get through. Just think of how many sets and how many substats there are. And I'll laugh if there's like flat attack versions of this too. I hope there isn't, but I'm sure there is. So anyways, let's jump into the game here. I just want to give you some real world examples here. So actually, before we start this, let me know in the comments below. This is actually really important. I'd love to know some feedback while you're hitting the like button there on expeditions. Do you like expeditions? Do you not like expeditions? Why or why not? What would help you doing them more? What would what keeps you from doing them? Why? All these questions. I just love to know a way to improve expeditions, because they're always looking for feedback, and feedback really helps them decide like what's wrong and what can be changed and altered. So especially since I think a lot of us are going to be spending a lot of time in expeditions in the future, this kind of feedback might be great. So first off, let's take a look at my Cerise. And my Cerise isn't super speedster. She's obviously really speedy, but compared to a lot of better geared players, she is not as fast as she could be. But for somebody like me, the substat change for my highest speed unit, which is Cerise, is not going to do anything. So we've got 19 speed, we've got 18 speed, 21 speed, 18 speed, 16 speed. So technically I could get better here. And then that, of course, can't be done anything there. So what this is going to do for sets like this is not about speed. This isn't going to make whales faster. This is going to make whales better, but not faster. So what I mean by that is, let's take what would be a good example here. God, I got pretty lucky on a lot of this gear. I'm trying to look at examples because there's one specific thing that I'm trying to think of. Okay, so something like this. This piece here already has 18 speed. I'm not worried about speed on this piece, but I did roll into attack twice. So what I would do for this piece instead would be up the attack into effectiveness. So this would now change from 15% attack to what was the number again? Let's open this up here. 15% attack to 42 divided by 5, too many numbers. So probably, I think it's 6, I would say. So 15% attack to 12 effectiveness. So that's how this is going to improve the speed gear of people like me. It's not going to improve the speed, it's going to improve the tankiness, and it's going to improve the effectiveness for those openers. So this piece would then turn awesome, because right now the attack and crit damage basically is useless, right? And if we take a look at a couple other pieces, like I have this piece here, already has high effectiveness as well, so like I'm not really going to change that. But if I really did want to tailor this piece to be more for an opener, I could change this crit damage, which is it 1 roll or 2 in the crit damage? I'm not sure. I think it's 2 because it goes up to 8 here. But what would change is I would be able to change this to 12% HP or something like that instead to make her tankier. And I'm also not sure. Let me know in the comments again. And again, I could be wrong on some of this stuff. It's really blurry right now. But I could change this 8% crit damage to HP percent. But how does that work with reforging and stuff? I'm not totally sure. Like, with a 12, get an extra 2 stats is basically what I'm asking there. And then for pieces like this as well, 21 speed, and we already have effectiveness. So that's actually a bad thing for this piece of gear, because I'd rather have this turned into effectiveness, the 13% crit damage. But again, we can turn that crit damage into HP. So what we're looking at as an end result, if I wanted to fully reforge the substats of Cerise here, I would basically be adding, like, this piece wouldn't change, I don't think. This piece, I would be adding 12% HP. This piece, I'd be adding another 12% HP or defense. And you're probably going to have to not be super picky, because defense works just as well for the most part. And it's going to be a lot more common than the HP. You'll need the HP on more pieces. Then we'll get 12% effectiveness here. And then we'll get... what will we get here? Oof, we'll actually get quite a bit of defense here. We can change this ER or flat defense to defense percent. So I would say that is 3 rolls. So we get 12, 16, about 18% defense here. And then that's it. So long story short, we get about 24, 26% defense. We get 24%. No, Mango. We would get 24% defense. We would get 12% HP. We would get 12% effectiveness, and we would lose a little bit of crit damage. So, and attack. So that's the end result. That's what I'm trying to get at here. For the whales, you're going to get a lot better substats outside of speed. But for the non-whales, this is where stuff kind of works out in their favor. So it's hard to find exact pieces of gear this would work for, because they're not pieces I would keep or upgrade now. But I don't even know if there's something I could change, because it's so hard to find. I guess we can look at this, right? Like, this is 70 crit damage, and I would never change this piece of gear because 38% attack is massive. But with 4 rolls here, I could change this 38% to like 15, 12 to 15 speed, I believe, which would be pretty massive. That's pretty great for a piece like this. So if this piece of gear had rolled into like effect resistance or something like that, that's when I could change a piece like this to get it really, really, really fast and great for what it's at. But what I'll probably do is just change this defense percent 2 rolls here to speed, and then we'll get an extra 6 to 8 speed and be on our way and just have a good old time. Something like this, I'm not going to change either. It's so hard to find pieces that'll work exactly the way that you want it to work, right? Because you want the substats in the wrong things, but the other substats to be good. So it's tough to keep those pieces, right? Because we've already gotten rid of them. Something like this, though, will obviously just get rid of the flat defense, and you don't have to go all the way out, right? Like, you don't have to change a substat that has however many rolls in it. You can do it with just one. So this defense here, we could just change it to attack percent. We've got an extra 7% attack or something like that on our Arbiter Vildred. And something like this, we could change the effectiveness to... No, we'll keep the effectiveness. We'll keep the... He doesn't need HP or anything. Can't get attack percent on the chest either. That's another thing. You're not going to be able to change something to a piece that can't have that substat. So you're not going to be able to get defense percent on your weapon, or you're not going to be able to get attack percent on your chest, for example. My Arby's gear is pretty good. But something like this, I could change the defense to effectiveness. I don't know. Crit chance. Yeah, my Arby's gear is too good. We need to find something that isn't as good. So destruction. There we go. So we could change this Landy to effect resistance. We can move that over to HP percent or something like that. I'm not really too interested in speed on my builds, so I'd probably go with a little bit tankier here. And you can see as we go through what it's going to do for gear. It's not going to make all of your units fast. That's what I'm trying to get at here, because it's going to be so rare to get all of those speed sets and all of those speed gems or whatever they're called. It's going to be so rare. So really keep that in mind. Keep this as like a tuning set instead of anything else. And this is good. You don't want to just be able to buy your way to the great gear. And this is something people like me and lower level players are going to benefit a lot from, and I think whales are going to benefit a little less from. They're still going to obviously benefit, but yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about. I hope this little rambling helped a little bit, trying to understand the actual practice that this will go into. So thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe as always, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye, everybody.